Hi, Jules Cruise Companion. Today is the 17th of February 2022 and I'm at Brisbane Airport. And you can see by the decor around me, there's not much activity happening. So I'm flying Emirates today to Dubai, and I don't know what time check-in is because it used to be almost all the time. So I'm not going to take the mask off for the whole trip, except for when I'm eating and drinking, and let's see what happens. Brisbane Airport, check-in went really smoothly. I was third person in line, but the first person to be allocated a seat. The first two people, one had an issue with their recency of their PCR, and the other woman had something to do with her passport, and they couldn't issue her boarding pass until that had been resolved. So check-in opened at a certain time specific, and then what normally you do is just go straight down to the departures lounge, but that door is closed, so clearly they're regulating it and only allowing people to go down there at a closer time that the planes are going to go, because there is no services down there, no restaurants or anything open, and there's only one restaurant up here in the departures check-in area. So that's a little bit different. There is a PCR station on the ground floor here at Brisbane Airport, but I didn't want to run the risk, and that's why I got that prepaid one a few days in advance. And the lady on check-in went through all the Jordanian stuff, and I just had to show her my personalised allocated QR code for Jordan, my PCR result, and something else I had to show her as well. So I had both hard copies and electronic copies. So they weighed the carry-on. So I didn't have the tablet in the carry-on at the time, and I was wearing 2 layers of clothing, which I've taken off now and putting 1 layer into the carry-on, so it's probably a little over that now. But I don't think it gets weighed again once it's been allocated as that it's been acknowledged once. My check luggage one was 10 and one was 19, so 29 kilos, and I have a 30 limit, being economy cheap. And I have got an aisle seat, even though they did offer me a window seat. Ow, crap. And but I get up and walk. Not that you can walk, I don't think they'll restrict that. But masks are being worn everywhere except for when people are eating and drinking, so far that's really, really good. Okay, so I have gone through customs and immigration, and I moved from up there, which is where the check-in lounge is, and I've come down here, and there's only one store that's opened, uniquely Queensland, so it's just macadamia nuts and stuff like that. The things that were different, so you didn't have to take anything out of your bag. You used to have to separate your electronics. You didn't have to do that. The fluid restriction has changed, so it's got smaller, and your organics have like baby powder, salt, etc. That has got smaller as well, 300 grams, something of that nature. I managed to speak to the lady who was having problems with the passport, and she said it's the first time she's leaving Australia. She's Norwegian on that passport. It's an Australian passport, but she's Norwegian, and she thought that there might have been an issue. So that was very interesting. Her nerves are settling now that she's down here in the departure area. So yeah, only a few changes. So it's about half an hour until boarding. One of the other shops has opened, kind of a newsagent-y type thing, so I got some sweets for Al's mother, even though she's diabetic, butter and ginger, and teddies and chocolate balls, and I got some water and a drink to take on the plane with me. Yeah, a few people arriving. We know that the gate is just over here. The staff of Emirates flight has just started to arrive, which is exciting. just doing those last couple of things like notifying the banks that I'll be travelling. Could do that on one app, couldn't do that on the other app, so maybe I'll have to go onto the website and do that before I board. All systems go. Not very busy, it's all pretty quiet, but everybody's wearing masks and being really respectful. Only taken off to eat, so that's really good.
Boarding will commence with first and business class passengers, followed by Emirates Skywards and Qantas Platinum, Gold and Silver members. Passengers requiring assistance will then be invited to board. Please keep the boarding lanes clear until your zone has been called and have your boarding pass or mobile phone ready for presentation. In accordance with international safety regulations, the cabin baggage allowed on board is restricted to one piece weighing 7 kilos per passenger in economy class and 2 pieces at 7 kilos per piece in first and business class. If you have cabin baggage in excess of this allowance, please remove any travel documents, valuables or medication before checking it in at the gate. Small carry bags to place these items in are available from the gate agent. We thank you for choosing Emirates and wish you a very pleasant and comfortable flight.
So boarding started quite promptly. I'm in section D, so near the back of the plane. So I came on and I did my standard cleaning ritual. Just got the damp cloth and I just wiped over everything that I would touch. And oh, the plane's filling up. I think they are going to do alternate seats by the looks of it so far, but then again we've only just started boarding. The other thing I did with my seating ritual was I actually turned the air vents on, both of them, because there's a seat beside me is empty, so I put both of them so that they're blowing around me so that there's no air. So if there is any viruses, they're just going to be pushed away. That's my theory. Audio is going to be pretty poor, but when we board we get the toothbrush and eye shields and socks, and this time a little bit different. We got a face mask and hand sanitizer, so that was a bit different. Everybody's been asked to wear masks, and if the oxygen was to fall, take the mask off and put the oxygen mask on. That's another variation. The different things that are going to be happening, and the cabin crew will come through with the first lot of food soon. So hi everybody, I'm Jules Cruise Companion, and you'll see at the beginning of this video that I completely stuffed up while I was at Brisbane Airport with the camera around the wrong way. Anyway, that was 15 hours ago. I survived the 14-hour flight. You saw that little bit of delicious food there. I will be here for 8 hours before I catch my next flight over. So I'll quickly edit this video, upload it so everyone can follow me to see what I'm doing. So this is the first leg on my 1 month journey to Jordan. Stay safe everybody. Happy travels.